Hi, and welcome to the Grandview Heights Public Library Friday Book Talks. My name is Lloyd LaBadie, and I am the page and volunteer supervisor here at the library. As many people know, but some people don't, May is Star Wars Month. May the 4th be with you, or Revenge of the 5th, as the two most significant days. Also, May 25th, since that was the day in 1977 that Star Wars originally premiered in theaters and kicked off the phenomenon that we now know as Star Wars. Since 1977, over the past 40 plus years, it has started from really three basic movies created by George Lucas to a multimedia franchise, going to every aspect you can think of. Television, cartoons, live action shows, more movies, novels, comic books, music, culinary arts, because there are several Star Wars cookbooks. So there's a lot to cover, but we have a limited time today. I thought I would actually focus on some of the newer stuff and also some of my personal favorites of the newer stuff that I have found as a lifelong Star Wars fan. Very fun, very interesting, and they keep the series moving, but also harken back to the core essence of it. So without further ado, let's get to it. So in the first pick that I have is really a trilogy, and this is known as the Alphabet Trilogy. The first book in the series is, and the entire trilogy, by the way, is written by Alexander Freed, and the first book in the trilogy is Alphabet Squadron. A lot of people wonder why it's called Alphabet Squadron. It's because the Rebel Alliance has ships that are named after letters, A-Wing, X-Wing, Y-Wing, so on and so forth. This is the Alphabet Squadron is an elite tactical squadron of fighter pilots. It is made up of a variety of the Rebel Alliance ships, hence its name, Alphabet Squadron. It is led actually by an Imperial, or Empire as a lot of people like to refer to them, defector. And she heads up, she defected toward the end of what most people know as, the movie Return of the Jedi, and she defected to the Rebel Alliance. And it's very interesting because we follow her journey at the beginning of this book. So as a defector from the Empire, she, gave great information and valuable assets to the Rebel Alliance to help them overthrow the Imperials or the Galactic Empire. But at the same time, nobody quite trusts her, and she really doesn't have a home anymore because she doesn't really fit in with the Rebel Alliance because people look at her as an Imperial, but she no longer fits in with the Imperials since she defected. The purpose of this squadron, and it really reminds me, if you're a Tom Clancy or a Top Gun fan, you will enjoy this trilogy, especially this book, because the whole purpose of the squadron is they go through, they do covert missions, hunting down the remnants of the Galactic Empire. And so when they're not in their starships doing dogfights like you would see in Top Gun, it's very cat and mouse, cloak and dagger, Tom Clancy kind of CIA-esque, but in the Star Wars galaxy. The wonderful thing about this is they've been assigned to hunt down an elite Imperial squadron, which is kind of their counterpart, called Shadow Wing. And so it's kind of neat. And the wonderful thing about this trilogy is it shows they're two sides of the same coin. The next book in the trilogy, to keep this moving, is Shadowfall. And Shadowfall continues the story we saw in Alphabet Squadron a year later. And we get more of the Imperial side of things on this, but in a way, this is kind of like an Empire Strikes Back in that the Imperials that are still around, they've gathered their forces, even though they've been scattered to the far reaches of the galaxy, they've at least gathered their forces, and they're mustering an attack to say, we're not going to let the New Republic and, the Rebel Alliance hunt us down like war criminals. They feel they are in the right, and which makes very good drama, and we keep things going on that. And then finally, to round out the trilogy, is Victory's Price, and it takes place in the same year as Shadowfall, but the wonderful thing about this is it really does explore, and I don't want to give away the ending, but at what price does victory come, and even if who is the real victor in this? Was it the Rebel Alliance? Was it the Galactic Empire? We'll see. And the wonderful thing about it, too, is you get to know all the pilots on both sides of the conflict. I just thought it was a great trilogy. Moving on to the next one, because I wanted to include some of the comics. This is actually a prequel to that trilogy, but the wonderful thing about it is you don't have to read them in order. You could read this after you finish the trilogy or while you're reading that trilogy. And this is called Star Wars TIE Fighter. And between the movies Empire Strikes Back and the end of Return of the Jedi is when the stories take place in this. It's about 6 individual issues, and it follows what is Shadow Wing. And we get to learn them and who they are as people, and why some of them, originally were part of the Republic, and then when the Republic became the Empire, stayed on with the Empire, or why some signed up after it became the Empire. So once again, you get to know the pilots on both sides of the issue. Oh, and I'm sorry, this is written by Hauser and illustrated by Antonio Cassandra Borges and Gara. I hope I'm saying that correctly. A nice thing that I had, because technical thing, this is kind of our neat little, right here, Star Wars TIE Fighter owner's manual. So if you want to go out and, buy a TIE Fighter at the, the local junk dealer where you traded in your land speeder, you can go do that. This will give you the blue book value right here. But really, the nice thing about it is it breaks through, and it really does, and this is the wonderful thing I've loved about Star Wars. They really do treat everything, and they go into massive detail as if this were, a real car, and it shows how everything would work and all its components and pinpoints. And the nice thing about this was when they would work in some of the technical jargon, and my nieces and nephews were having a little issue with that, I could refer to that. So, last but not least is probably my favorite new character in all this, and the character is Doctor Aphra. This book right here is written by Sarah Kuhn, and it is a script book based off the first comic series story arc she premiered in. This is an original character who premiered in the new comics once Marvel got the rights of the comic back from Dark Horse Publishing. Dr. Aphra is a LGBTQ female Indiana Jones-esque character in the Star Wars universe. And it's fascinating what she'll uncover. And the thing with her is she's not really good, but she's not really bad either. She really will just do anything to uncover the lost history of what's in the Star Wars universe. And that ranges from ancient alien civilizations, finding statues, all the way to AIs that she'll put into, lost AIs that she'll put into protocol droids. And I really have to say, her Wookiee companion, if you haven't watched Book of Boba Fett on Disney+, he originally premiered in this, but also her 2 droid companions, which are kind of an evil C-3PO and R2-D2, but in a really kind of fun way, because even though they seem evil, they're actually extremely loyal and protective of her. I just can't, this character is great. She started in the comics, she's found her way into the novels, and she's actually done, right here, the first of her own series, as I said, her Wookiee companion, and she's even gone in to then spawn into another of her own Star Wars series right here, which, like I said, I just can't recommend this character enough. So if you're a fan of history and you're looking for a little fiction, or you like historical fiction, but you want a little science fiction, I highly recommend any Star Wars book featuring Dr. Aphra. Well, anyway, I thank you guys for watching. As always, attached is our reading list, which includes all of these plus some other Star Wars items as well. When you can, please come into the library. Check out our displays on Star Wars this month and any books available. Also, you can check them out with our Hoopla app that you can use with your library card and other digital services offered through the library. I thank you guys for watching and hope to see you next time.